The Princeton Conference has had what's turning out to be a fairly long history, and I think a really interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
There were some believers in the Princeton area who were concerned for the Princeton area and who had also benefited from the ministry of the Philadelphia Conference on Reformed Theology, which started back in the 70s. And they had grown through that and learned through that, and they wondered, would it be possible to bring a smaller scale version of that to Princeton?
Mm-hmm.
And so they worked with the Alliance to do that, and I think we were the first conference that went beyond the Philadelphia Conference and sort of expanded the Alliance's reach of conference ministries. So in that sense, there's an interesting history. And I think, too, as I sort of scroll through my mind of the speakers that we've had and the topics that we've had, the Lord has used this conference in a significant way in many people's lives in the area. And of course, as you know, better than probably anybody, it's an important area. It's a strategic area for the gospel.
Sure is.
It's an area where you've been ministering now for many, many years yourself.
Yeah. And so the benefit of a conference like this to the people of God in that area is really incalculable,
mm-hmm.
because you pull people out of the weekly church routine and schedule, right, and you gather them together for a Friday night and a Saturday to really sit down and think through and learn through, mm-hmm. and follow through on some important biblical themes.
Right.
And this year's theme, sanctification, is, you can't argue that is not an important theme.
Right, and in keeping with what the Alliance is always concerned with, we do try to also coordinate with local churches in the area, and local pastors. It's not competing with their ministries in any way. It's trying to collaborate with them on the work that God's called them to do in that area.
I agree. I mean, as pastor of a church there in Princeton, all the years of this conference, my congregation has benefited greatly from it year after year.
Yeah.